Attention Philadelphia Eagles fans. Get ready for a twist that's shaking up the NFL behind the scenes. But before we dive into the news, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any hot updates about your favorite team. We're here every day bringing you all things Eagles, and today's move is one you won't want to miss. While the Philadelphia Eagles remain one of the top favorites to win the 2025 Super Bowl, there's a point that's not being talked about enough. With so much at stake, the franchise also has a lot to lose. That's exactly why strengthening the backup quarterback position could be a key strategic move. After winning the Super Bowl, the Eagles aren't just aiming for a repeat, they're seen as the top contenders to do it. In this context, analysts are pointing out that the team should consider a trade for former Tennessee Titans starter Will Levis. It's worth remembering that in 2024, the Eagles made a similar move by acquiring Kenny Pickett, former starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That decision turned out to be spot on. Not only did Pickett serve as an excellent insurance policy for Jalen Hurts, but he also earned a starting job again in the NFL after being traded to the Cleveland Browns, an ideal outcome for any backup. QB now, Will Levis is emerging as the next big market opportunity. With the selection of Cam Ward, quarterback from the University of Miami, and the first overall pick in the 2025 draft, the Titans have made it clear that Levis is no longer in their plans. Ward is viewed as ready to start right out of college, opening the door for potential trade talks involving the former starter. According to Alex Ballentine from Bleacher Report, Levis is currently the Titans' most valuable trade asset. Drafted in the second round in 2023, he has recorded 21 touchdowns and 16 interceptions in 21 starts. Despite a modest 5-16 record, his raw talent is still considered valuable. The Titans had the easiest choice in the draft: pick the quarterback with the highest star potential. They nailed it by selecting Cam Ward, Ballentine noted. The Eagles' recent history shows the franchise already has a successful blueprint for this type of move, and, more importantly, they have the draft capital to get it done. As of 2026, the team is projected to have 12 draft picks available. The reported trade proposal would send Will Levis to the Eagles in exchange for a fifth-round pick in the 2026 draft. If the Titans decline, the Eagles could sweeten the deal by adding a seventh-rounder. The financial side is also manageable. Levis is set to make about $1.6 million in 2025 and $2 million in 2026. Despite the strong impression left by Tanner McKee in the win over the New York Giants at the end of the regular season, it's hard to ignore the experience gap between him and Levis, 21 starts versus just 1. In addition to McKee, the backup group includes Dorian Thompson-Robinson, acquired in the Pickett trade, and rookie Kyle McCord, a sixth-round pick who's still far from being considered a reliable bench option. With Jalen Hurts firmly established as the MVP and unquestioned starter, the search for a capable backup isn't just a luxury, it's a strategic necessity to keep the run for a repeat championship on track. Last offseason, the Philadelphia Eagles made a quiet move that turned out to be much more effective than anyone could have predicted. The team added depth by acquiring Kenny Pickett, a former first-round quarterback from the Pittsburgh Steelers, to serve as the backup to eventual Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts. That bet paid off and became a strong insurance policy. Pickett made his Eagles debut in Week 17 of last season, completing 10 of 15 passes for 143 yards and a touchdown in a dominant 41-7 win over the Dallas Cowboys. The week before, he had also looked solid filling in for Hurts in a last-second loss to the Washington Commanders. His performances reassured the front office that they had a reliable option behind their star quarterback. But now that Pickett has been traded to the Cleveland Browns, the Eagles are once again looking for that sense of security at the backup QB spot. Bleacher Report recently ranked the top 5 roster needs for each NFL team, along with their most tradable assets. A backup quarterback came in as the 5th priority for the Eagles. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans' most valuable trade chip is Will Levis, especially after selecting Cam Ward from the University of Miami with the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Ward's arrival clearly signals that Levis is no longer in their plans as a starter. Given that scenario, Bleacher Report suggested the Eagles consider trading for Levis, following the same successful strategy they used with Pickett. Like Pickett, Levis is a young quarterback with potential, but he had a rocky start in the NFL and eventually lost his starting job. While Pickett found a fresh start and another opportunity to lead, Levis is still waiting for his analyst Tony. Adam even argues that Levis would be an upgrade over Pickett in the backup role, despite a more troubled beginning to his pro career. Over 2 seasons with the Titans, Levis has gone 5-16 as a starter, completing 61% of his passes for just under 3,900 total yards. In contrast, Pickett posted a 14-10 record in his first 2 years with the Steelers, was more accurate, threw for 500 more yards, and had fewer interceptions. Even with the doubts, the Eagles have enough draft capital to make a deal happen. It's believed that Levis could be acquired for a relatively valuable 5th-round pick, possibly with a 7th-rounder added if needed. Still, there's no guarantee the Titans would accept the offer. It's also important to remember that Philadelphia has already made some moves this offseason. Tanner McKee remains on the roster after a promising late-season performance. In addition, the Eagles drafted quarterback Kyle McCord out of Syracuse in the 6th round and brought in Dorian Thompson-Robinson through the Pickett deal. With this trio already in place, it's fair to question whether Levis would be a clear upgrade over the current options. There's also no guarantee Levis will be traded at all. The Titans could opt to keep him as a veteran backup for rookie Cam Ward, especially if the young QB struggles during the season. If Levis is good enough to be the Eagles' plan B, he might just be good enough to remain in Tennessee too.